Hey everyone, it's Coach Christine and welcome to this week's edition of Christine's Kitchen. So the comfort foods are just going to keep on rolling through. Today we are making the world famous shepherd's pie. Now I know traditionally shepherd's pie is super rich and heavy and indulgent and probably not the most diet friendly meal, but stick with me. I'm going to show you some great simple swaps to actually make this a vegan dish. So here we go. There are three elements that we need to do simultaneously to prep. The first is put our pie crust in the oven for about 10 minutes just to get it set. We then need to put our potatoes. I took 4 regular good old-fashioned medium-sized potatoes and chopped them up. We want to get those into the water to boil, and then we'll get right into how to make the filling with the meat. So first things first, the oven is already heated to 425. We're going to take the pie crust and start to get that warmed up. We'll put it in for just 10 minutes here, and that way we'll take it out, have it cool, and ready to fill it with all of these delicious shepherd pie ingredients. Next thing on the docket is to take our potatoes, and we want to add those into the water. And I already have the pot of water boiling, so we're just going to be extra careful here. Let's pick up this whole dish. And let's get those potatoes cooking. Now the potatoes itself are going to have to boil easily for probably 15 or 20 minutes. You want to have them soft to touch with a fork, and that way we can mash them. So we'll teach you how to make the mashed potatoes, teach you how to make the filling, and of course teach you how to assemble the entire, smorgasbord of the pie, the dinner pie. All right, stay tuned and I'll show you how to do the filling. So when we look at shepherd's pie, traditionally it has the crust and then it has this layer of ground beef that has Worcestershire. How does anybody even say that? It has that sauce with, just sound it out. Worcestershire. There are some words that I can't say. Clearly, this is one of them. So,
figure it out, people. You can get it.
I digress. It has the layer of the meat that's got this yummy sauce and a gravy overtone to it. That is what we're going to make. So if you want to do this with regular meat, by all means, grab your ground beef, grab your extra lean ground turkey, or if you want to do this as a plant-based option, grab your Morningstar or whatever veggie meat crumbles. You're going to be using a pound of meat or a bag of crumbles. Pour those into the skillet. And you're going to take a small onion and chop it up and add that to the meat mixture. And we just want to mix this together to start to brown the meat up a little bit. We'll add a little bit of seasoning here. It's going to be salt and pepper to taste. So just a few shakes of salt because you don't want it over the top salty. A little bit of pepper here. I always like to add a little bit of a pinch of chili powder just to give it some extra pizzazz. And we'll go ahead and get this brown. It'll take just a couple of minutes, and then we will add our next set of secret ingredients. Well, I guess they won't be a secret because I'm going to share them with you, but shh. Once you know them, you don't need to share the recipe with anyone. Just make it and be the hero. Okay, see you in a minute. So the next thing that we do once the meat is started to brown is add a clove of garlic. Going with my old trusty pre-measured out cloves. If you need to know where to find ingredients and you don't have them in your house, just direct message me. I will tell you all of the places to go and shop. Along with that, we want to add the secret sauce.
Or the secret sauce you can't say.
Duh. So, you're going to do a tablespoon of it. It's a true story. I've already butchered it like 6 times. I'm not going in for a 7th.
Yeah, 16.
Exactly. And then you want to add a cup of vegetable broth. Now we're going to let all of this simmer together for 5 minutes. So stir it up. And we'll just let it cook. And there's, amazingly enough, 4 minutes and 15 seconds left on the pie crust. So once we take it out of the oven, we'll come back and check on this, and it'll be perfect timing. Pie crust out of the oven, we're just gonna let it sit on the counter and cool. The only step left for the meat is to take 2 tablespoons of flour to add into our mixture, and that will it'll allow the sauce to thicken up and turn it more into a gravy. I tend to use Bob's Red Mill, their gluten-free all-purpose flour for it, because it is perfect for everything that I do, and that way if I am cooking for anyone who has any kind of gluten intolerance, I'm already safe. So it keeps me in my gluten-free cooking zone. So as you can see now, it's starting to thicken up here. You can zoom in with the camera, and you've got this thick, meaty, onion, savory, delicious pile of meat that's gonna go into our shepherd's pie. We will just let this sit on the side and simmer in its own flavors while we wait for the potatoes to finish, and that way we can make the mashed potatoes and get ready to assemble. So it's time to make the potatoes and get this assembled and into the oven. I've already drained the water from the potatoes, and now it's time to mash them up. So grab your seasoning. We're going to use a little bit of garlic as well as black pepper, because those are staples in my mashed potatoes at all times. Not necessarily a set amount, just season to taste. Set those aside. You're going to want to add a spoonful, so about a tablespoon of butter. Add that into the mixture.
Spoonful of butter helps the potatoes get smashed.
Why would you even sing that? That's the dumbest song I've ever heard. Seriously. Love you. Then pour a little bit of milk in. Not too much, add your milk little by little, and you'll begin to mash them together. Now I'm going to do this with the hand masher, but if it's easier, you're welcome to just grab a hand mixer, and that'll give it a little bit more of a whipped consistency. Since they're going on top of the shepherd's pie and they're going to rebake anyway, they're already going to have that kind of whipped, twice-baked potato texture to them. So I'm going with the hand mixing for myself today.
And it helps you get a workout in.
Sure, that too. Then we're going to add just a little bit more milk here. So I do want them a little creamier. There we go. Zoom in, you can take a look at the consistency. See, it's a little bit starting to cream up for me. Perfect consistency on the mashed potatoes. Now, no mashed potato is perfect without the taste test. So grab a little fork. Again, it's pretty spot on. Make sure the flavors are right for you. Add additional seasonings that you think are necessary, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so this is done. Now, traditionally, when you are looking at shepherd's pie, you're going to have the meat and you're going to have a mixed veggie. So we're just going to grab a bag of the classic mixed vegetables. This has got your peas, your carrots, and your corn in it. We're going to take the bag and just add it into, if I can open the bag, there we go. We're going to add it into the meat mixture. That way it can all mix together, and as it bakes together in the shepherd's pie, all of those flavors will really start to meld together. So get those in, give this a little bit of a stir. This is going to be delicious. Here we go. Oopsie daisy, put it back in. Oh, that's really good. This is going to be really delicious. Meanwhile, you want to turn the temperature on your oven down to 350. Once we have this assembled, we'll put it in the oven at 350 for a half hour. You're going to bake it until the top of the potatoes is brown and it's cooked and warmed evenly throughout. So I'm just going to take this here. Let's move this out of the way so we have room for our creation. First things first, take the whole meat mixture and fill your pie crust. This is meat and veggies. It is a smorgasbord of happiness, all nestled into this pie crust. After that, here we go, let's get that in. Then we want to add just a little bit of cheese. So I'm taking a plant-based cheddar cheese, about a cup's worth, and sprinkling that in for the next layer. So just sprinkle this all the way through, make sure it's nice and even throughout. Then we top it with a potato mixture. So from here, let's make sure everything is off of that so we're ready for potato happiness. Technical term, potato happiness. Okay, we're going to take our mashed potatoes and start to pile it on top. This is one of those meals that's great to make ahead of time. It will freeze really well. You can make this and keep it in the fridge for a few days and it's going to stay just fine. Add a little bit more. And by a little bit more, I mean all of the rest. So why stop here? It's like a mound of potato happiness. Now, what I will say, simple swap. I'm doing this with the full potatoes tonight because Josh really, really wanted grilled potatoes. But you can do this with the cauliflower mashed potato and cut your calories like significantly. 4 real potatoes though is still fine. They're still nutrient packed. And keep in mind, this is not just feeding 2 people. I mean, there's 2 of us in the house, but this truly can feed us for like 4 meals each. So it's all about portion size. You can have an indulgent meal and still portion size it and feel like you're super cheating and know that you're completely not cheating at all. Josh is looking at me like, you think that's 4 meals? Woman, this is like 1 meal for me. I know, but I'm still gonna portion size it out and hope.
True story.
True story. Okay, so here we go. Take a look at this beautiful shepherd's pie. We're gonna put it in the oven, bake it for a half hour at 350. The potatoes should have a nice golden brown topping to them, and we'll take it out and serve it up. Stay tuned. See you soon. In a half hour, let's check on our shepherd's pie. Looking perfect to me. Here we go. Carefully set that down. Now that, my friends, is a thing of beauty. So we will cut into it, serve it up, and bon appetit. Super comfort food dinner is served. Stay tuned for who knows what's coming next month. You'll have to tune in to see. Either way, from my kitchen to yours, have a wonderful weekend, stay safe, and we will see you next time.